The first thing that comes back is the sense of sight. Right in front of him are the puzzled looks of Tobio, Korai and Shigeya. Korai moves his lips and seems to want to tell him something, but Atsumu cannot understand him. Then the hearing comes back. And damn that Atsumu would have preferred this one to come back last. Are you still alive? What the hell is wrong with you? Why did you get that ball with your face? Korai's screams break through and Atsumu wishes he was unconscious again. In the distance, the whistle is heard, marking the suspension of training. Are you okay, Mia-san? Tobio asks cordially. Atsumu is disgusted by the sappiness, but appreciates the gesture. He is helped to sit up, and when he is finally sitting on the ground, the other senses suddenly return and the pain rips its way through his skull. Damn! He exclaims. Blood drips from his nose. The trainer comes over and helps him up. In his glasses he sees the reflection of his face and it doesn't look good at all. Just as they are walking towards the infirmary, he sees Sakusa from the periphery. He is standing on the other side of the net and there is a disgruntled look in his eyes. ... What the hell were you thinking? Sakusa's voice is aggressive. The bastard is claiming him. Atsumu snorts at his cynicism. I'm the one spilling blood and you have the nerve to claim me. They are both in the infirmary. Atsumu is sitting on the edge of the gurney and Sakusa is standing by the door. It has been the longest 45 minutes of his life, but as a precaution, he has been asked by the trainer to remain under observation for at least 1 hour. That doesn't answer my question, insists Sakusa, who, standing so stiffly, looks like a goddamn statue. Atsumu looks away. He shakes his head so fast in the middle of a pout that it ends up making him dizzy. What was he thinking that distracted him enough to ended up receiving the ball with his face? So it's been 6 months already, huh? To his mind comes Osamu's face after Atsumu said those words to him. The weird expression on his face. Yes. He had answered seriously, while washing the dishes after dinner. It all started when Atsumu, 2 days before the camp, was lying on his bed looking at pictures on social media. As he slid his finger across the screen, a picture of his brother with his girlfriend popped up. Atsumu's first reaction was to slide his finger and look at other pictures, but 4 pictures later he returned to the one of his brother. He gazed at it with a bored and indifferent expression. Osamu was barely smiling, but he looked happy and the girl had a splendid smile. The caption read, "The best 6 months. What's it to you anyway? Do you always have to torment me or something?" He retorts to Sakusa, snapping back to reality. "Just leave me alone, you'll see what is gonna happen to your sorry ass when I crush you on the court." "If you say so," says Sakusa while disregarding Atsumu's words. Finally, after what seemed like an eternal internal struggle, he decided to enter the infirmary completely. "I know you don't have the brain cells to understand complex concepts, but I thought you at least respected the sport." He begins, looking at Atsumu accusingly and sitting down on one of the chairs next to the nurse's desk, being careful not to touch more than necessary. "Your carelessness took us out of the court, the coach has forced me to keep an eye on you, so if I'm losing my good shape right now it's because of you and I think that at least I deserve to know why." Taking into account how much his head hurts, those were too many words for Atsumu's brain to reason them all out and think of something clever and brutal to say. Fine. So he just accepts. Anyway, he once heard from Kita that talking some problems out was the fastest way to solve them. "I'll tell you, but if you dare to make any shitty derogatory gesture, I'll throw you one of these handkerchiefs stained with my blood." Sakusa wrinkles his nose with disgust, or so it seems through the face mask. Atsumu takes that as a sign of acceptance, but grips one of the handkerchiefs tightly just in case. "My brother has been secretly dating the girl I used to date for 6 months." He says it quickly, looking away, but when he sees that time passes and Sakusa doesn't say anything, he looks at him. Sakusa's eyebrows are furrowed, but it doesn't look like anger and his eyes are 2 indecipherable pits. "That's the reason?" he asks incredulously. Atsumu nods as he wipes a drop of blood that falls from his nose. "Are you even interested in this girl?" he asks again, cautiously. "What the hell do you mean by that? Do you think I'm the kind of guy who says something like that just to compete with his brother just because he secretly wants to beat him at everything?" Atsumu feigns indignation. "Because, even if it's true, the image must be maintained." "Of course I do, you're stupid, everyone knows it. You hurt me." Sakusa rolls his eyes. Are you interested in her or not? Atsumu thinks about it. It's complicated. He used to like her, they go out a couple of times, but she didn't understand his love for the sport and gradually they stopped seeing each other. One day they just had a silly fight, she called him a self-centered piece of shit and that's where it ended. At first Atsumu had been relieved but now Samu is dating her, and not only that, he has managed to maintain the relationship while playing volleyball as good as ever. I wouldn't know how to explain it, it's probably nonsense. Like all things with you. Sakusa complains and gets up from the chair. He gives Atsumu one last deep look and leaves. ... They say that people see life pass through their eyes before they die. What memories did you see? Surely pure bullshit. It's been 3 days and Korai just hasn't stopped teasing him. Even now in the middle of the breakfast, the fucker keeps going and going. Atsumu exhales heavily after gulping down the bread. What a drag. Could you forget it? I think the angry looks I get from Omikun are punishment enough. Korai laughs openly, at least Shigeya has the decency to stifle his laughter. Tobio, as always, is just sitting there, filling the space, but with nothing interesting to say. You know Tobio, the fact that you don't make fun of me it's fine, but it seems to me more like you're ignoring my existence and that's quite dodgy. He says, teasing him, looking to get a reaction out of him, however small it may be. Tobio shakes his head. I agree with Sakusa-san, that ball could have remained in play, but I'm used to it, things like that happen to Hinata all the time, so suck it up. Tobio replies and proceeds to drink his glass of milk. This is all because I told you goody two shoes, right? You hate me. He replies, his eyes narrowed. Leave him alone. Korai says laughing. Spill the tea. What is it about Sakusa hating you and I don't know what else? Maybe it's just him and his overthinking, but since the incident, Sakusa seems more taciturn and irritable towards him. He always hits the ball in his direction when they are playing and if they are on the same team, he always feels his gaze on the back of his neck. Even now, while eating, he feels watched. It's none of your business, little bastard, you just want to set the world on fire. ... Tell your cousin to leave me alone, his creepy presence is going to drive me crazy. He says to Komori after practice, taking advantage of Sakusa having gone ahead to the showers. What do you mean by creepy? My cousin has always been the same way. That may be true, but still. You kidding me or what? You're always with him, you must have noticed the way he stalks me like I'm cursed and he's a bad spirit. Komori bursts into uproarious laughter. Everyone cleaning the gym looks at him like he's gone crazy. Hey, what the hell? Atsumu is going to have to check his Japanese, because it seems like everything he says is either a joke or no one understands him. I'm sorry, it's just that the thing you told me is impossible. Atsumu frowns, he doesn't know why, but he's getting pissed off. It's impossible because, it's just that, you see, Sakusa is only this intense when he's ether training or in love, and he hates you, I know that for a fact. ... Maybe Komori talked to his cousin or something, but the intensity with which Sakusa watched him disappeared. Maybe Atsumu is crazy after all. In any case, the issue with his brother is still a problem. Samu is a pain in the ass but he's a good brother when it counts and the least Atsumu can do is be happy for his brother, but hey, emotions are what they are. Are you going to stand in front of that vending machine like an idiot all afternoon? Sakusa tells him, shooing him away. Ah yes, the machine. It's just that this machine has swallowed my coins and the water bottle is stuck. He exclaims, kicking the machine. It was the last thing I had left and now I'm out of coins and the water. Sakusa looks at him smirking. Do you always have to be so childish? He asks, reaching into his pockets and pulling out some coins. Atsumu just watches him as he puts the coins into the machine. He bends down slightly to pick up some cookies. He tosses one of them to Atsumu, who catches it in midair. See you later. He waves goodbye as he walks away down the hallway. Atsumu looks at the cookie and then at Sakusa. Those are his favorite. ... When the camp ends, it is precisely Osamu who comes to pick him up. Atsumu sees him from afar and is glad, for some reason, he feels lighter. Grandma forced you to pick me up. Atsumu lets out a satisfied chuckle. Osamu rolls his eyes. What do you think? I have better things to do, but she manipulated me. He answers with a frown. She told you she'll stop giving you money, didn't she? She uses that trick on me all the time. He slips an arm around his brother's shoulders and they both start walking. You know I hate you, right? Atsumu just keeps laughing. We're brothers. If we didn't hate each other a little, it wouldn't be funny. ... If you were going to train as a maniac once you returned, then why did you volunteer to take care of Mia in the infirmary? Komori asks, already tired. Sakusa doesn't answer him anything and continues to practice his serves. They are in the municipal gymnasium and it is already quite late. But Sakusa can't stop. He has wasted valuable time getting distracted by that idiot Atsumu. Aren't you going to answer me? Continues Komori, giving up, walking away from the court and sitting on one of the benches. So far, he had helped Sakusa by making some tosses and picking up balls. You know, Mia came up to me and said he felt like you were watching him. He teases him, but Sakusa is smarter than that. He's always known that his cousin is more perceptive than anyone, so he's not going to indulge him by reacting the way he expects. Oh yeah, and that matters to me because he serves and hits the ball too early. He leans back on his knees and takes a deep breath. Are you going to play dumb? I noticed your intense stare too. At times I thought you were going to make a hole through his skull. I just played dumb so he wouldn't realize anything. He explains as if he were talking to a 2-year-old who you have to know how to talk to or he will throw a tantrum. You're insane, Sakusa retorts. He walks over to Komori and grabs one of the water bottles from the backpack next to him. You always say that when you're on the ropes. He tells him with a complicit little smile. Sakusa drinks the water as he thinks about how he is going to improve his stoic facets to get his damned cousin to stop reading him. So do you like him or not? Sakusa nearly chokes on the water. He starts coughing and when he recovers he looks at his cousin with a reproachful face. The latter just throws his hands up in surrender. For a moment, while returning to the court with a ball in his hands, Sakusa thinks of Atsumu. He allows himself to remember how he felt when Atsumu hinted that he liked someone else. It wasn't pleasant, but when Atsumu received the cookie, there was a sparkle in his eyes. Komori whistle. This time the serve is perfect. I really hope you enjoyed the story a lot. Write me in the comments what you think. That inspire me to keep going. I really appreciate it. That helps me to improve. Also, you can write me about topics that you would like me to write about. Please subscribe, share it and like it. See you soon.